Today we're being joined by Isabella Klein, who plays for the Murray Bushrangers. Isabella, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Cooper.
No worries, anytime. Now, Bella, how many people butcher the spelling or the pronunciation of your last name?
Well, I think you've been added to that list just there.
I, I had two variations in my head and I went the wrong one. I should have went with the other one because that's what I thought it was and butchered up. Okay, for everyone to know and for me to now know, what is it?
It's Klein.
Klein. All right, there you go. Isabella Klein. See, Isabella Klein. See, now Bella. What nicknames do you get at the club that you like or dislike?
Well, I think one of the nicknames is either Bella or just Kleiny, which are the most generic ones I get. But yeah,
very nice.
Good.
That's good, right? Kleiny and Bella. Simple as that. There's going to be no more stuff from now. That's going to be my goal. That's my goal, not to stuff up your name.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us a bit about yourself, Bella. What kind of got you into footy and what type of player you are?
Well, I didn't really play much of a sport younger. I didn't really start pick up footy until about 2020, where my parents just asked me if I wanted to join a football club. Dad used to play footy, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll join a club. And so I decided to join it with my local club in 2020 and then got picked up in Bushies next year.
That's very good. So how has your few seasons so far been at the Bushrangers been?
Oh, it's been a great experience. My first year definitely was awesome. I had about 8 or so girls get drafted that year, and it was just a massive bonus being with all those girls. They were amazing players. It was just really inspirational.
For sure. How beneficial, Bella, was it seeing, as you just mentioned, about 8 girls in your first year get drafted, and the most recent one, your skipper from last year, Holly Egan, go all the way to the Dockers?
Yeah, it's awesome. She was really great last year, really inspirational, and she was awesome as a captain. It's just really cool to see her get into the AFLW like she really wanted to.
For sure. What type of position do you play on the footy? You play in the ruck, I believe.
Yes, last season I played in ruck for a majority of the year. Previously, at my local club and stuff, I normally play centre half back or centre half forward, sort of those positions. But I'm quite versatile and I just get thrown around the field wherever they need me. But
that's good.
Majority ruck.
That's good. As you know, flexibility in players being agile is really key to the game these days, because if you're someone that plays in one position and you're not dominating in that spot, you might very likely find yourself out of the side compared to someone else who may be more versatile and can play in a few roles like yourself that you mentioned.
Yeah.
That's good. And of those 3 positions, which one would you say you prefer the most? Like if you could pick yourself to play in that position permanently, which one would it be?
Probably centre half forward, I've got to say. Being able to kick a goal just feels great.
Absolutely, they do. So we might as well throw some goal questions. Goal or mark of the year? Bella, which one would you rather do and why?
I think I'd have to say mark of the year. I've always wanted to do a specky. I did an attempt last year, but it didn't quite work out. But yeah, I would definitely want to try and get that specky this season, which would be pretty cool.
For sure. Obviously, as you mentioned just before with Holly getting drafted, it must be pretty cool to see some of your teammates who are already getting talked about. Nikita Spiteri, Rain Dot in particular, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more in the conversation. It must be nice to see the chat that they've got so far being in the Vic Country Summer Squad. It must be good to see some of your mates be making the right steps to get where they want to get to.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome seeing that they're getting really far. They've put in all the hard work and it's really putting showing up in all the work they've been doing is really impactful on their games and everything. It's really cool to see.
That's good. Were you a part of that trip to Melbourne recently in the last few days? Because a few of the girls were mentioning they had that coming up.
Yes, yesterday we just got back from our testing camp. Still a bit tired from the trip, but no, it was pretty cool.
That's good. How was it overall? And how were you in the lead up to it, Bella, going into the testing? And I'm sure that's not the first time you've done that form of testing before.
Yeah, it's about my 3rd time. So, I mean, it wasn't anything scary. Just, I guess, the nerves because of the yo-yo mostly. But apart from that, it was just testing sort of thing. Just go into it, have fun, being around the whole team. It's pretty cool.
That's good. How what would you say of all the testing that you did was probably the one that you feel like you exceeded really well in?
I'd say I did pretty well with my run-in vertical jump with the right hand.
Mhm.
From being a ruck, that's pretty good. But I was pretty happy with my results for doing the yo-yo. I got a PB, which I'm pretty happy with, and my 20-meter sprint was pretty good too.
Very nice. Now, on the website, it has you listed at 169.7 centimeters. So they've been very precise. Have you reached that 170 yet?
Well, yes. I'm on last season. They said I was 170, but I was pretty sure I wasn't. But when I got measured today, they said that I was 170.5. So yeah, crossed over.
You've crossed over. Now, in saying that, I've asked a few players throughout my time of doing all this, and sometimes the website seems to screw people over a little bit. Like it has a few centimeters less or a few more. So that seems to be they gypped you last year then.
Yeah, they made me taller than I was. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it can be on the right side of that, or sometimes the good or the bad side there. Now, is there any memorable games, Isabella, for Murray that comes to mind that strike out as one of your most memorable Bushies games?
There's quite a few great games that we had as a club, and it was pretty impactful, particularly our last game of the season. It was just great being able to finish that game with a win and being able to say goodbye to all of our upper age girls with a bonus as well. That was a pretty awesome game. But I'd also have to say our game against Tassie was probably one of my faves. It was pretty cool. Great game as well. All the girls worked really well together.
That's good. And you mentioned that last game of the year, obviously getting the win, and obviously for a side overall that from the win-loss side of things at least, struggled to get a lot of wins on the board. But it must give you a lot of belief. As you said, send off the players that are leaving, that were top age or gone to free if you're Holly.
Yeah.
How do you take some learnings out of the year, and you be kind of pretty happy that you ended that season on the right note, giving you some confidence, I suppose, going into this year?
Yeah, well, I think we didn't start off the best, but as we got towards the middle and towards the end, we sort of started to get more of a flow going. And I think we all just started working really well as a team towards the end of the season, and it was just unfortunate that we couldn't get that started a bit sooner. But yeah, it was really good having that eventually, like, getting on the right side of the scoreboard and having that win was pretty good to have. But yeah,
sure.
it's looking good for this coming year. All of the girls have been working really hard, and it should be a good season.
That's good. You mentioned before about you prefer, if you had a preference, to play at centre forward and love kicking goals. Going back to some goal questions, if you could describe, Bella, the best goal you have ever gotten, would like to get, is going to be as unrealistic as you want. You can add in the distance, the angle, the moment, the occasion. What goal would you like to pull off?
Oh, actually, I did have one experience where I was playing as centre half back, and I got to run in and run, and I think I kicked the ball from about 50 out, and it was bouncing towards that goal, but I had one of my own teammates grabbed up the ball and kicked the goal through instead. But that was pretty it was great anyway. But I think if I was going to kick a goal, I'd want to do a Jeremy Cameron style banana from the line, which would be pretty cool.
So from like a long range snap around from the boundary.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Well, they would be. I mean, yeah, that'd be pretty cool if you can pull that off about 40, 50 out on the boundary. That makes it even more impressive. The distance, the angle, I mean, is hard enough, or not for me. I actually love it's funny, in my goal kicking challenge, I do better on the boundary than I do in front. I don't know how the hell that even works. It just does. Probably the only thing I put it down to, Bello, is probably every time when I used to play footy and when I do goal kicking challenges, 99% of the time I'm practicing from the pocket. So, I mean, if you do it that much, you probably should be getting them a bit more than what the average person might get. But that speaking of your one, that'd be pretty cool. Now, what is officially the best goal in your eyes that you've ever gotten?
Oh, I don't know. There's not too many impressive ones, I've got to say. They're all just been just in front of goals I've gotten it. But I think probably one of my best ones was probably from about the 40-meter mark, and it just bounced through for a goal, which was pretty cool.
Very nice. Now, you just mentioned before about your teammate torching you, and it got taken on the line and they got the nice over-the-top goal. Who was it, if you remember? And did they owe you something? Owe you a drink? Owe you some food or something after that one? After stealing your thunder?
No, I can't say I remember who it was, but it was. I don't think it. To be honest, it didn't really matter that game because that was a pretty good one, and I think we had to win that one, which is good.
Okay.
But
That's fair enough. Who's been the toughest opposition as in terms of a club that you've had to compete against in your eyes, or even just from an individual matchup in the ruck or other positions?
I'd have to say last season's toughest team to play against was Oakley Chargers. But my toughest opposition would have to be when we played against Geelong Falcons and I was going against their ruck, and she's just a powerhouse. It was a really tough game for me. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I asked you that is because how do you combat like tough experiences, or whether it's injuries or just there might be a challenge that day? How do you try to overcome it to not like kind of let it sink in? It's like, oh no, not going to go and face against this person. How do you try and like kind of put that to the side and just focus on what your role is?
It's definitely a challenge to try and overcome when I go up against a tougher opposition. But Dad's always really supportive, and he just telling me to reset and try, like every quarter is a new quarter, to just try and reset and start again, and just use my size as an advantage. Being run around the ruck instead of being smashed out of the way, and just try into the best positions to be able to get the ball forward.
That's good. You mentioned obviously about being the ruck and doing very well on the vertical jump in the testing yesterday. But what would you say overall is your biggest strength as a footballer?
Well, yeah, I'd have to say my leap would probably be one of my best. But strength as well. I've got a good boot, so if I can get my foot on the boot pretty well, I can get it far. But I also have speed. I've got a good sprint. But last season, because of being in the ruck, I couldn't use it that much because I was using my energy up in the jump.
Very true. But mobile ruckman, fellow, is something that's really important, I feel like, these days, because I think times are going away from the bigger bodied, I don't know how to describe it. The ones that aren't as quick and aren't as mobile. I think the days of that is slowly going away, and a lot of the ruckmen now in the AFL and AFLW, Mim Strom from the AFLW, you got Rowan Marshall in the AFL. They're mobile ruckmen. They're strong, but they're fit and they're mobile, and they can keep running and running. And I feel like that's very important and a good trait to have, like yourself, that you mentioned.
Yeah, it's definitely comes as an advantage being able to run around the opposition rucks, because they seem to tire out towards the end of the game, whereas I'm able to keep pushing a bit further. But yeah.
Absolutely, take the strengths to your advantage and use it against whoever you're on. Now, you said you hadn't been playing footy for a long time, so has there been any personal footy accomplishments or premierships that you've won in your time so far, not just at Murray, but anywhere?
No, unfortunately, but I mean, I've just enjoyed the whole experience of being able to play with the girls, and they're all really good to be around. We've definitely had some great games all together, but I did get best and fairest for my club.
Nice.
For my first year, I got best and fairest, which was pretty good, with Bushies and a few, and the most promising as well.
Fair enough. So, Bella, what would you say is your AFL or AFLW team you've grown up supporting?
Oh, definitely hands down Geelong. Just because it's my granddad's team, and I wanted to support my granddad mainly because Mum and Dad were always bickering over which team I should go for, Collingwood or Saints. So I thought I'd just split it down the middle and go with my granddad's team.
So you had to split down the middle of Collingwood. How did Geelong become the middle team in that?
Well, it wasn't long after my granddad passed away, so I just wanted to sort of just honour his team there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Is there any footy role models, Bella, that you've got growing up that play at either AFL or AFLW that you look up to?
Yes, I have to say for Geelong, Tom Hawkins was a
Oh yeah.
definitely big model, and Nina Morrison as well was awesome as well. Obviously at Geelong, but I
Yes.
also had two other girls from Bush who were very influential to me, which would be Keely Skepper and Zali Goldsworthy.
Ah, yes, two very good players. Zali, superstar, and so is Killy as well. But Zali in particular, a rising star in her first year. Can't get much better than that. And I've met her before. She's fantastic. And you talk about bona fide stars already at the age, I think she's 20, 21 now. To
Yeah,
already be a star at the comp is pretty cool, pretty good for her.
yeah, it's awesome. She smashed it, and she's just an amazing player, and just great to have her on my team and being that first
Mm.
year. Really inspirational for me.
Okay, so I actually didn't know that because I was actually going to get to a fun fact. So you got to play with Zali Goldsworth in Keely Skipper and co. in the same team at least
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
So how was that?
It was awesome. Like
Who
I
else
just,
was in it?
pardon?
Do you remember who else? You mentioned about 8 being drafted. Do you remember any others in that particular year?
Oh yeah, we had Maddie Gray and T Gray. They went to Essendon VFL
Yep.
W, and then there was also I think there was Olive Ciccolini also got drafted to
Oh yes.
VFLW.
Yep.
And who else got drafted? There was quite a few. There was one girl got drafted to North Melbourne. I can't remember her name.
That's all right. But some decent names in there, and some players
Yeah.
that have gone to the level just below AFLW. So that's pretty cool. And the two you mentioned off the top, Keely and Zali, two great players for Carlton and GWS, respectively. Game day superstitions, Bella. Do you have any game day superstitions you must do?
I've got to check the center of the field always. Just walk around the field and just see where it's hard, where it's soft.
There's actually, you know what? I actually do the same thing for cricket. We always play on synthetic pitches and not the turf, but the synthetic ones. So, in other words, the pitch will never change, right? But I still go out there anyway to look to see, because some grounds, some pitches for some reason are wider or they're thinner.
Yeah.
Or I just go there to see how far the cones are set out or the rope is or whatever it is, and see how far it is and just kind of get a feel for it. So a bit the same with footy. And when I did play footy, I did the same thing. Even when I do goal kicking challenges, I even look at the same grounds that I'm normally doing it at and look, okay, there's the winds going. Okay, this grass looks a bit softer here. I do the whole shebang, but that's it.
Yeah.
I can never understand people, Bella, that have like so many game day superstitions that they do so much.
Yeah, I can't say my list is too long. It's just that at the moment, yeah.
Right. All right, so that's very good. Now, teammate questions. Now, I'm sure you've been aware of all the teammate questions I've been asked lately to the other girls of your team that have been on. So let's see if you'll surprise me with some same or different ones. Right. First one. Who loves the limelight, the attention of the camera, the bushies, and they can't get enough of it?
I'd have to say Fred. She's loves the camera.
Mm.
Always.
Now, Fred, for the people that don't know, you're talking about Rain Dodd. Now, I actually didn't fully explain how she got called Fred. So do you want to explain how Dottie got called Fred?
I believe it had some. I can't remember exactly what it had to do, but she resembled Freddy Krueger, so she got called Fred.
Interesting, very nice. Who would Google themselves and watch your own highlights?
Or possibly Rose Bell. I reckon she would Google her own highlights. Rightfully so, though. She's always got some good ones there.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you got good highlights, why wouldn't you want to watch them? I mean, generally highlights are your best, right? They're not going to put up, say, turnover or something in your highlights reel.
Yeah.
That's always the best. Who's some teammates that kind of fly under the radar, Bella, at the Bushrangers that don't get talked about enough publicly, you feel, that should get a bit more recognition?
I reckon Lana Carroll. She is a key backline defender, and she's always getting those marks right before they go through for a goal, and she's always pushing out those goals, pushing out the kicks out, and she's really influential on the game.
That's good. If you were stuck on a deserted island with teammates, who would you be bringing and not bringing, and why?
Yeah, I've heard this one a couple of times, and I've had a thought about it. And I think I'd bring Rose Milthorpe and Maddie Ibrahim with me on the island, just because I reckon together it's a pretty good team would be able to get off the island.
Yep.
And I'm not 100% sure who I wouldn't bring. I don't really know anybody who I wouldn't bring. Most girls are always good for a chat, and they're all really good. But I can't think of anyone that I wouldn't bring.
Fair. That's a good thing. Now, if 3 teammates were to form a rock band, I didn't ask any other girls this one. So if you 3 teammates, including yourself, if you want, would form a rock band, who would be in that rock band, and what would the band name be called?
This is interesting. I think one that comes off the top of my head straight away would be Hannah Lochnan. She plays guitar, and she's really into her music or loves her rock music, so she'd definitely in that. I don't know. I feel like I possibly would be, because I do play a few instruments and I do sing a little bit, but I reckon Fred also would be good as a singer in the band as well.
There we go. What would you call yourselves?
Oh, I have no idea what I call us. Probably a mixed bag of
Random
anything.
stuff. That's fair enough. Now, you just mentioned yourself. I was going to actually ask you about hidden talents. So you say you're a singer.
Well, not particularly. I do. Dad's quite musical. And so I play the violin myself and have self-taught piano and guitar.
Right, very nice. That's good. Now, who would you say is the loudest and quietest teammates?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I have to say Fred's pretty loud. It's always loud, always something to talk about with her. And the quietest, possibly Chloe. She's quite quiet, but she's stealthy as well.
That's fair enough. And the last teammate one, if you were to have a teammate or teammates or yourself that would appear on a TV show, who would be on that TV show, and what would that TV show be or movie?
Love Friends. Probably be on Friends, and I reckon I'd be on Friends with probably Hannah, and I reckon I don't know what roles would be on the show, just like the silly bunch in the cafe, I reckon.
Okay, very nice. Now, all right. So I'm going to go some hot topic food questions now. Kalani, a lot of these people go pretty well. The lowest score anyone's ever gotten is a bunch of people on 3. So no one's ever gotten 2 or less out of the possible 6 questions. And I've asked over 150 people these questions. So hopefully you don't join the fake honors board here and be the first. To be honest, I don't think anyone will ever get under 3, but you never know. Some people have been close, that's for sure, and they've saved themselves for the last question. So let's see how you go here. How are you with controversial food questions?
I have no idea. We'll find out.
We'll wait and see. All the girls bar, who was it? I think Neve Taylor got 7 out of 6, which is technically not possible because you got a bonus point for something else. And then Dottie had 6, and Nikita and Neve, I think, got 5. I think that's how it was. So you'd only had at least 5 to not be dead last. So the pressure's on if you're on your own little comp. Right, the first one, chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
It's palmy.
Thank you very much. I mean, it's plain and simple, isn't it? You pronounce it, it's Parmigiana, and it's spelt with an I. I mean, there's no other answer possible.
Yeah, no way.
No way. Right, 1 for 1. Good start. Right, number 2 is pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, that's a cross. So 1 for 2, so that's all right. That's all right. So now you need to get them all right to not be dead last between your crew. Right. Tomato sauce, cupboard or fridge?
It be in the cupboard until you open it, and then it gets in the fridge.
Okay, I normally give everyone a point here unless they say neither, so I'll give you that because I don't mind either or the variation that you just said. So 2 for 3. Favorite food?
I have to go with the spaghetti. Dad makes with spaghetti.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Spaghetti bolognese is a great one. So that's 3 for 4. Here we go. Need 2 more. Food you don't like?
Oof. I don't know. I've got a. It's like not a big fan of broccoli. I've got to say.
Not bad. Yeah, I'll give you that one. 4 for 5. And the last one to equal Nikita and co. Favorite takeaway / restaurant place.
Oh, walk in Wangaratta after training and get like a satay chicken and then a pad thai.
Okay. I'll give you a 5 out of 6 just by the barest of margin. I'll give you that just. So there you go. Equal fair few for your teammates. You're not dead last, so good job. All right. Now, what is the best piece of advice you've ever gotten from coaches, teammates, anyone in general?
Be confident and Dad always says a good one.
That's a good one as well, though. Be confident in yourself, though.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
My Uncle Bob, he said, if you can't be first to the ball, be second to the ball. So you're always in it, and you tackle hard.
That's very good. Now, if you can name 3 famous people, dead or alive, to go out to dinner with, who would they be?
Ooh, Heath Ledger, Freddie Mercury, and I'd like to go out to dinner with who's the last one?
Any footy player?
Oh, probably Tom Hawkins, I reckon.
Oh, there you go. Well, there you go, Tomahawk. All right. Now, a few more for you, Alice. I really do appreciate you coming on. Favorite app on your phone?
Probably Instagram.
Fair enough. If you could have any superpowers, what would those superpowers be?
Ability to fly and runs.
That'd be good. I mean, you don't have to pay for anything then. Now, jumper number. You did originally wear number 13, but apparently you're switching over to 12. Any reason behind that?
No reason at all. I have no idea. But yeah,
just happened
over the years. So.
Okay, very good. Now, the last one, so I do appreciate you coming on. If you could have a bold call, Bella, for season 2025 regarding yourself, the Bushrangers, some teammates, anyone in general, about your Geelong in the AFL and AFLW, what's your big bold call for season 2025?
Tough one. But I reckon that the AFL Geelong men's team will be in the grand final this year.
Here we go. You were one step away last year, so we'll see if it eventuates this year. Bella, I really appreciate you coming on. All the best for the upcoming season. Hopefully everything goes to plan for you. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Cooper, for having me.
No worries.